OPSC 2023 main examination. Distress, so let's start. Distress migration in Odisha. A comprehensive analysis. या परे आउ किसी नाही more or less यार भीतर हेजु मु तुम बहुत गुडा स्कीम देबी सब स्कीम मन रखियार नाही चारटा पांचटा स्कीम तीन चारटा स्कीम रो नाम मन रखिबु किंतु रेस्ट ऑफ द स्कीम्स यू शुड बी इन अ पोजीशन कि जदि से स्कीम नाटा कहउथेबी तू दी लाइन लिख पतु से तो दी लाइन लिखले को हबो ना रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर वेरी कोन आखो पाखरे लिंक करी तू लिखि दी परथबो दैट इज वन ऑफ द स्मार्ट वे टू डील विथ द मेंस पर कोन हेची ना हमर लोक माने बाहर को जाउछथि दादन खटियो किबा काम करिया whatever you say persistent socio-economic challenges rahuchi particularly in that of the KBK area. What is KBK area? We all know Koraput, Balangir and the Kalahandi region, or in a very overall way you can say that of the Western Odisha. Now there is a stark difference between Western Odisha and Eastern Odisha. Odisha overall they developed nuho comparatively Eastern ta Western to develop ta mane nuho ki Eastern ta fully developed. Similarly, no distress migration in Odisha refers to the forced movement of people. Forced movement, push factor. I hope you are getting what is pull factor and what is push factor. Our push factor. Forced movement of people from rural areas due to economic hardship, forced economic hardship, and due to lack of employment, climate change impacts, and social vulnerabilities. But, so, एथरे कौन करिया आंसर आउ कौन लिखा हो मोर और लेस इंट्रोडक्शन जो पार्ट टा हमें एठी बनेइछु सेटा आंसर रे इंट्रो तमे एमती डायरेक्ट लिखि दे पारियो सो हेंस यू कैन प्रैक्टिस योर इंट्रो फ्रॉम हियर डायरेक्टली आंसर OPSC UPSC answer intro more or less empty hour so we have made this you know PDF in such a way. So what are the causes of distress migration push factor forcefully question रे any term can be used all these terms can be used distress हम stress रे जाउ छाडी की हमर तारे इच्छा होन छाडी की कार घर कोन पई छाडी की जीवो भाई चाकरी बाकी नहीं परा economic factors समस्त every term Dick and Harry can write 10 points of it extra out of marks केमति मिलियो ना मु ताको dimensions देखेबी आ गोटे वीडियो हमर पढी अछि MCS approach to that of the mains writing go and watch that video if you do not know what is MCS approach multi-dimensional way रे आमे जाओ करी देखेबू the knowledge which you have has to be given various dimensions that is one of the need of the UPSC or OPSC आमे कोन देबो dimension जदी किछि dimension मन पडुनी ताहाले so the easiest way is this not necessarily eta सबोले हबो not necessarily the easiest way is this economic dimension social dimension political dimension historical dimension geographical dimension जदी एतिक न मन पडुची तमरा जहा जहा ऑप्शनल थिला geography थिला geographical dimension history थिला historical dimension economy economical dimension by thinking about your optionals you can create your own dimensions not necessarily always applicable but yes that could be done so let's see हमें dimensions और heading दे की आंसर लिखिबा नॉर्मल चारटा पांचटा पॉइंट लिखि देले मोर ने मार्क एक्स्ट्रा आउट ऑफ मार्क एक्स्ट्रा मार्क हमको मिलिबनी जाकी मेंस क्लियर तापर हबनी किबा कष्ट हबो क्लियर करिया इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स हेडिंग मुदली इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर और नंबर ना लैक ऑफ लोकल एम्प्लॉयमेंट and local employment nahi hence Odisha lacks non-farm employment opportunities non-farm employment opportunity nahi tapre kiछि batter honi so hence we need to leave next is debt trap माने उधारी माने कोन माने बैंकिंग सिस्टम भीतर पहुंचनी किबा all these terms are financial inclusion हेई पानी especially that of the KBK areas and that of the tribal zones financial inclusion हेई पानी banking system runs on profit hence they have no other option than the local people has no other option than to go and borrow from the money lenders with a high interest rates they cannot repay their loan to repay their loan they are forced to migrate outside घर घर ताकर कहै छी ना बंधा पड़ी छी so they need to earn more for earning more you need to move to the cities and hence you have no other option hence debt trap opportunity lack of local employment debt trap एमिति मु तो लिखिबी किंतु केमति लिखुची ना ओटे हेडिंग लिखेगी डायमेंशन लिखेगी केमति डायमेंशन लिखली ना इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स ऊपर लिखली एटा इट्स जस्ट एन आर्ट टू राइट इट दैट्स इट lack of local employment and debt trap ଆଉ କଣ social and governance issues, ରେ କଣ ଲେଖି ହବ exploitation by labor contractors in the specific areas. And let me tell you, KBK areas, the people might be poor, but the amount of fund that the Odisha government and the central government, even that of the international fundings that are coming to these areas are enormous. ବହୁତ ଟଙ୍କା ଯାଉଛି, ଟଙ୍କା ଯାଉଛି କୁଆଡେ ନା ଖାଇ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି, ଚୋରି କରିଦଉଛନ୍ତି। ଲୋକ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ଲୋକ ଜାଣି ପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ନା କାହିଁକି ନା ୱେଷ୍ଟର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଓଡିଶା ଲୋକ କମ୍ପାରେଟିଭଲି ଇନୋସେଣ୍ଟ ଆଜି ବି ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଲୋକ। they cannot just question, they are not questioning the complete bureaucratic system of the places or that of the government machinery, including that of the contractors. Contractors ବହୁତ ବାହାର ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଭିତରର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟର ହେଲେ ବି ସିଷ୍ଟମଟା ଏମିତି ହେଇଯାଇଛି କି କରପସନ ହଉଛି, and they do not know about କଣ about their rights, minimum wage କଥା ସେମାନେ ଜାଣି ନାହାନ୍ତି ବହୁତ ଲୋକ। So there is a wage theft, bonded labor, poor working condition, formal registration nahi, so exploitation by that of the labor contractors, also limited awareness and social protection nahi, jannahanti, right? Like that of lack access to health insurance nahi, swasthya card ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି। बीएस जस्ट रिसेंट गवर्नमेंट जिस ए गवर्नमेंट पूर्वରୁ ଗୋଟେ ଫେମସ୍ କାର୍ଡ ଚାଲିଥିଲା बीएस କେବେ କାର୍ଡ, এটা ଏବେ ବି ଚାଲିଛି with a different name that too। ସେ କାର୍ଡ ତମ ପାଖରେ କାର୍ଡ ଥାଇପାରେ, ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ବି ତ ଥିଲା ହବ ନା। You just cannot take your ill people always to Bhubaneswar and Cuttack or any other city. That is not a practical possibility, right? Hence, lack of health insurance, education, government welfare schemes thile bhi implement hei paruni, health facilities nahi, education facilities nahi, जदि भी स्कूल अच्छी टीचर नहीं, जदि भी टीचर अच्छी क्वालिटी टीचर नहीं, पानी नहीं, फंक्शनल टॉयलेट्स नहीं, टंका टंका आछि कोड होला करप्शन and other forces, काहे ना people are innocent, they cannot question, poor people, tribal people, they cannot question, all these things are happening, and tar end result kon hochu, we just cannot stand in front of the mighty powerful class of the society, we cannot stand, we are common people, if we cannot stand, what to do, what else option do we have, that ଦାଦନ ଖଟିଆ ଛଡା ଆମ ପାଖରେ କଣ ବାଟ ରହିଲା, ଛାଡିକି ଯାଉଛୁ ଆଉ। Hence distressed migration, post migration, forced migration, ଇଚ୍ଛା ଆମର ନାହିଁ। Are you getting the sense? essay पढ़ले we can include all these aspects. Gender challenges, women and children face trafficking risks, women and children. Go to your Google and check out how many missing women in India. I was shocked to see 44,000 missing women in Gujarat. When I thought about UP, it was something such a big number. Can you think of the India's missing women? Where they are going? Traffickings. They are being thrown to brothels. Our sisters been thrown to brothels. Distress migration. All these factors leading our sisters to become prostitutes. Distress migration. Unsafe work environment. Lack of social security. There is no separate toilet for women. Even if they want to work, they cannot. Forget this unorganized sector. Forget it. Ex-Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud, has very recently said in one of the videos I have seen that in the district courts and the lower courts, for the judges or the magistrates, women magistrates do not have functional toilets. Lower judiciary, the Parshiti area. Now I am talking about something called as unorganized sector. What about that women? Hence, men has to go out. They have to move away. Forced migration or distressed migration. This is social and governance issues. Climate change and environmental factors. Climate change, see, monsoon class जदि तमर हेइथिबो हम जानि पथो Bay of Bengal branch, I do not need to explain, you are the main candidates. Bay of Bengal branch Mahanadi Delta ଭିତରେ monsoon ପଶିବ eastern coast ରେ basically ପାଣି ପକେଇବ eastern Ghats cross କରିଥିଲେ interior western ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଆଡକୁ ଯାଉଛି ପାଣି କମି କମି ଯାଉଛି hence drought or droughts are natural consequences of these places agriculture stress ରହିବ droughts and water scarcity in Bolangir Nuapada Kalahandi frequent droughts ରହିବ ଏଠି ଭାଇ ଯେତେବେଳେ rest of the economic infrastructure has not been developed agricultural stress no water less effect of that of the monsoon what else option do we have or our people have than to move away from the state and work in places like Surat Bangalore when I was in Bangalore those days in 2012 and all ଯେତକ ସିକ୍ୟୁରିଟି ଗାର୍ଡ ଥିଲେ ସବୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ସୁରତରେ ଡାଇମଣ୍ଡ ପଲିସିଂ টেক্সটাইলস ইন্ডস্ট্রিরে মোস্টলি ওড়িয়া বহুত লোক ওড়িয়া রাইট ନ ଯାଇକି ଆମେ ତାହେଲେ କରିବୁ କ'ଣ ତାହେଲେ ଅନଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ ସେକ୍ଟର ରାଇଟ୍ ଆଉ ତାପରେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ନା ଫ୍ଲଡ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ସାଇକ୍ଲୋନ୍ସ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଇଜ ଅ କୋଷ୍ଟାଲ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଆମର ପ୍ରତିବର୍ଷ ଦେଖିବୁ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ବନ୍ୟା ହେଇଯାଇଛି ତେଣୁକରି ବହୁତ ଗାଁ ମାନଙ୍କର ନାଁ ହଉଛି ଧୋଇଆ ମାନେ କ'ଣ ନା ଧୋଇ ହେଇଯାଇଛି frequent floods and cyclones recurrent floods storms like Fani Yas Tikli they used to devastate even the eastern coast. So what else option do I have than to migrate? Getting, getting. So these are the basically the causes. Such in such a wider way, it has been explained to you so that you can incorporate various other factors to it also. So now there is a specific trends. Migration trend ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି. Trend ମାନେ କୋଉ type ସେଟା ହଉଛି. ଏମିତି ନୁହଁ କି ସମସ୍ତେ ସବୁଆଡୁ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ପଳଉଛନ୍ତି. Migration trend କ'ଣ ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ itself question ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର geography optional ଥିବ they know about the migration trends now state PSCs even or UPSC even asking this level of questions in that of the GS also migrational trends seasonal migrant ମାନେ or seasonal migration means season basis ରହୁଛି ମାନେ କ'ଣ ଆମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ଲେବର ସଂଖ୍ୟା ସହର ମାନଙ୍କରେ ଇମିଡିଏଟଲି କମିଯିବ ଯେତେବେଳେ ହାର୍ଭେଷ୍ଟିଂ ସିଜନ ଆସିବ ସମସ୍ତେ କ'ଣ କରିବେ ନା ଛାଡ଼ିକି ପଳେଇବେ ଗାଁକୁ ଧାନ କାଟିବା ପାଇଁ ହେଲା ହାର୍ଭେଷ୍ଟିଂ ସିଜନ ହେନ୍ସ ୱାର୍କର ମାଇଗ୍ରେଟ୍ ଫର୍ 6 to 8 months 6ରୁ 8 ମାସ ସେ ଯାଆନ୍ତି କୋଉଠି ନା ସହରକୁ ନା କାହିଁକି ନା ଅଡ୍ ଅଡ୍ କାମ କରିବେ ଯେମିତି କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ସନ ସାଇଟରେ ଯାଇକି ଲେବର ହେବେ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରିଜରେ ଲେବର ହେବେ ଇଟା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ଲେବର ହେବେ ବୁଝିବୁ ତ by this so this is seasonal migration କୋଉଠୁ ବେଶୀ ଯାଆନ୍ତି ନା ବଲାଙ୍ଗୀର ନୂଆପଡ଼ା କଳାହାଣ୍ଡି ବରଗଡ଼ ରାୟଗଡ଼ା ଗଞ୍ଜାମ ତାହେଲେ କରିବ କ'ଣ ନା ଓଡ଼ିଶା ମ୍ୟାପ୍ ଗୋଟେ ବନେଇବ ଯୋଉ ଯୋଉ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ କହିଲି ତାକୁ ହାଇଲାଇଟ୍ କରିବ ତାପରେ ଲେଖିବ ସିଜନାଲ ମାଇଗ୍ରେସନ ହାଇ ମାଇଗ୍ରେସନ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ डिस्ट्रिक्ट ना लिखा दरकार नहीं जदि लिखिदे पाल टाइम अच्छी वेल एंड फाइन ना हाइलाइट करके छाड़देले किंतु ओडिशा मैप बनाटा शिख दैट इज सीजनल माइग्रेशन नेक्स्ट इज इंटरस्टेट माइग्रेशन इंटरस्टेट माने स्टेट स्टेट भीतर ओडिशा होची सोर्स आमे ने ओडिशा स्पेसिफिक करके देखु ओडिशा होची सोर्स ताले कोठी की जाउछन्ती हम लोक तमिलनाडु बहुत लोग अछन्ती आई हैव बीन टू चेन्नई ओडिया लोक अछन्ती टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री रे सेठी काम करନ୍ତି गुजरात एठी लिखा है खाली डायमंड पॉलिशिंग टेक्सटाइल रे भी काम करନ୍ତି सूरत में महाराष्ट्र जतक लेबर आमरी आंध्र प्रदेश इटा जो इटा भाटी रे काम कला लोक भी आमर सो दीज आर द मेजर डेस्टिनेशंस तमिलनाडु गुजरात महाराष्ट्र एंड आंध्र प्रदेश cities like चेन्नई सूरत मुंबई हैदराबाद बैंगलोर हैदराबाद में मुझे रही तेणुक जानी attracts most Odia migrants. Hyderabad it's a very big city and किसी बाटा नहीं so we go and stay there. Interested ओडिशा भितरे भी migration होउची right ओडिशा भितरे भी migration होउची migration सबले कोउठ होबो ना जोठू less developed places to more developed places. Now Odisha as a whole might be underdeveloped but comparatively western Odisha to eastern Odisha are developed. Thus eastern Odisha a few of the cities are there like that of the Cuttack and Bhubaneswar. Most of the people comes to Bhubaneswar. Cuttack रे एबे टिके कमिची किंतु हां एबे भी ताले आसुंदी. One more place that is Raurkela. आ गोटे लेखी हबो बरमपुर but fine, but more or less Bhubaneswar, Cuttack, and Rourkela for industrial and service sector jobs. So we are dealing with something called as stressed migration or distressed migration, push factor. So government of Odisha has taken a various steps. So it is a fact कि हम लोग को जाऊँ overnight जिनसारा change करी हबनी. And let me tell you, थरे तमे तमरा state cross करके गलो, we are living in one country, but places are new to us, culture is new to us, food is new to us, everything will become new to us, even the language will become new to us. तुमको जो सुविधा गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स ओडिशा ओडिशा भितर देई परथांता ऑफ कोर्स सेटा बाहर तुमको मिली परिबोनी ताले तमे बहुत सोशल सिक्योरिटी स्कीम्स बाहर को पळेयो. Hence, for the government of Odisha, this is a practical fact. Gradually, I'm develop kariba. That's a different thing. But immediately, a crisis को address केमती करिबा ना Odisha has formed, or the Odisha government has formed, Odisha Task Force on Migration. Odisha Task Force on Migration. माने कौन? See, government एई टाइप रा काम करियो सबले. Remember this term, task force on migration. धर कोठी होते riots हेई गला तमे देखियो गवर्नमेंट सब बेले गोटे पीस कमिटी डाकिबो. धर कोठी गोटे बड़ क्राइसिस हेगला गवर्नमेंट गोटे कमिटी बसई दबो. एई टाइप रा काम गवर्नमेंट रो बहुत जगह रे नॉर्मल. हेंस एई ने जते इमीडिएट सॉल्यूशन जते हम खोजुचु ओडिशा टास्क फोर्स ऑन माइग्रेशन गोटे बनाबो. ए 20 मेंबर हाई लेवल पैनल सेथरे 20 जन मेंबर रहबे हेडेड बाय एने हमरो जोड़े डेप्यूटी सीएम अछंती तेणुकरी नाटा लिखिया को पड़ो. जदि गोटे डेप्यूटी सीएम था चुपचाप लिखा डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ ओडिशा जेतु दी जन अच्छा तेणुकर ना लिखुचु केवी सिंहदेव टू डेवलप लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्यूशन गोटे हाई पैनल हाई लेवल पैनल माने किछि नै रे 20 जन मेंबर थिबे बड़ बड़ लोक तेणुकर कहছে हाई लेवल पैनल काम हम न हम डिफरेंट थिंग. हाई लेवल पैनल हेडेड बाय डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर जेहेतु डेप्यूटी सीएम बसंती काम हवा कथा दैट टू Deputy CM KV Singhdev is a very efficient man, right? See, करेंगे ना develop long-term solution for that of this distressed migration. So focus करेंगे कहाँ पर high level panel ना livelihood generation, social security and labor protection. इतने मन रखियार अच्छी ना खाली कौन मन रखियार अच्छी ओडिशा टास्क फोर्स ऑन माइग्रेशन high level panel of 20 members headed by Deputy Chief Minister KV Singhdev to develop long-term solutions. आउ कौन बी प्रैक्टिकल बहुत स्कीम अच्छी से स्कीम इम्प्लीमेंट हो पारुनी कि जहाँ भी हो ताको पाखरे काम नाही तेणु करी से माने छाड़ी की जाउचंती. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा कुछ ओके फाइन 200 एक्स्ट्रा वर्क डेज वर्ष को 200 एक्स्ट्रा वर्क डेज दो 200 365 200 आगु जा स्कीम थिला in 30 high migration blocks district को high migration blocks से आहुरी नारो करछि तो so that particular specific target करी हबो 200 एक्स्ट्रा वर्क डे दबो 30 टा हाई माइग्रेशन ब्लॉक रे आ 98 टका एक्स्ट्रा पर डे दबो एक्स्ट्रा 98 टका अराउंड 100 टका और 98 टका पर डे will be provided to workers in high prone mobile blocks migration prone blocks. First point, Odisha Task Force on Migration, 20 high level member रहिबे, Deputy CM KV Singhdev को अंडर रे long term solution से खोजिबे and 30 ब्लॉक रे डिस्ट्रिक्ट मु कहनी डिस्ट्रिक्ट लिखि दबुनी हाई माइग्रेशन ब्लॉक रे 200 दिन एक्स्ट्रा काम दिया हबो आउ 98 टका पर डे एक्स्ट्रा दिया हबो. Second point. Third point, MSC, that is Migration Support Centers or State Migration Support Centers, SMSC. Migration Support Center, migrate जतले करलु तते सपोर्ट दिया हो. माइग्रेशन करिक तो कोठोट जिबु ताले जो जोटी हम लोक जाउचंती सेठी सब सेंटर बनाउची माइग्रेशन माइग्रेंट्स मान को सपोर्ट दबा को तेणु करी माइग्रेशन सपोर्ट सेंटर हम लोक बेसिकली जाउचंती कोठी सूरत को चेन्नई को हैदराबाद को मुंबई को सेठी सब माइग्रेशन सपोर्ट सेंटर दिया ताकू लीगल एड दिया हबो हेल्थ केयर दिया हबो देह खराब हेल्थ केयर दिया हबो क्राइसिस से पड़गले रेस्पॉन्स दिया ओडिशा गवर्नमेंट करूची आम लोकों ପାଇଁ बुझियोची getting what I'm saying that is state migration support center migrate करी गलु क्राइसिस से पड़िबु तो नारे सिटी केस हे गला मला मनिष poor man cannot do anything legal aid दे दो आम गवर्नमेंट थे one of my friend now is working in OLS Odisha labor service जड़े लेबर आसते छत्तीसगढ़ रु एठी डेथ हो गला तेणुक जस्टिस दबारे ओडिशा लेबर सर्विस वाला बहुत बड़ रोल रहा ओएलएस इज ए वेरी पायस जॉब बहुत बड़ चाकरी से सो डू नॉट नेग्लेक्ट इट ताकू तमे ओएस ओएफएस पर 3 नंबर रे रखी पारिबो जदि तमरा जन कल्याण जनता सेवा करे डायरेक्ट इच्छा अछि तो बुझौछि सब स्टेट काम करूछि under this circumstances now you are getting what is state migration support centers हमें migrate करूछु crisis रे पड़िबो state center सेठी बनै छै apart from that मुख्यमंत्री कर्म तत्पर योजना मुक्त अभियान मुख्यमंत्री कर्म तत्पर अभियान मुक्त very very famous one urban wage employment program urban wage employment दरमा दिया wage employment program offering public works for informal workers गोटे हूँ फॉर्मल वर्कर गोटे हूँ इनफॉर्मल वर्कर गोटे हूँ ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर आ गोटे हूँ अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर रे जिनस क्रूडली ऑर्गेनाइज थी मोर और लेस बहुत बहुत सिंपल तरीका रे कहले बहुत क्रूड तरीका रे कहले गोटे लेबर एसोसिएशन थी कि तुम एसोसिएशन थी ऑर्गेनाइज ठीक चलती माने से नुह पूरा फुल्ली से नुह लेबर हिसाब रे जब खाली मु देखिबी ताले तुम ऑर्गेनाइज ठीक थी नॉट नेसेसरली दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट मोर और लेस अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर रे किछि एसोसिएशन पर्सन तमर किछि नाही तमे असुविधा रे पड़ी गेले तमर कथा चलला तम पई केही ठिया हेबेनी अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर कोचिंग इंडस्ट्रीज एंड अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर इवन दैट ऑफ द सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री नो सॉफ्टवेयर टेकीज टेक्निकल सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स खाली ताकरी कथा जदि देखाबो ताले अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर खाली सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर का कथा जदि देखाबो सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री कथा नो अनऑर्गेनाइज एसोसिएशन नाही एई कांसेप्ट को धरिके एंत बुझ बुझौछि पब्लिक वर्क जॉब्स फॉर इनफॉर्मल वर्कर्स एंड रिटर्निंग माइग्रेंट्स माने दाबी करि परिबेनी एसोसिएशन नाही तेणु करी सेमान दे आर वन ऑफ द मेजर चंक ऑफ द लेबर सोसाइटी सेमान ताकर आवाज उठै पारु नाहंती गवर्नमेंट को इक्विवेलेंट फाइन विल डू फ्रॉम आवर साइड मुख्यमंत्री कर्म तत्पर अभियान ऑफरिंग पब्लिक वर्क्स गवर्नमेंट ही दे दोछि public works for informal workers and returning migrants because they cannot raise their voice. So this is the true significance of Mukta scheme. मुख्यमंत्री कर्म तत्पर अभियान hence एतक स्कीम मन रखर अछि डिटेल रे बुझाउ छै कारण you can write something जर पढी गला then you can write something कर्म तत्पर अभियान next ओडिशा हाँ स्मार्ट माने बुझी पारछ डिजिटलाइजेशन या भीतर पळे आसीबो ओडिशा स्मार्ट माइग्रेशन ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम माइग्रेट करछो त ट्रैक करा हबो डिटेल रखा हबो गेटिंग ना काहे कि ना एन्श्योरिंग लीगल प्रोटेक्शन सोशल सिक्योरिटी बेनिफिट्स तते मिली पारुची यूनिवर्सल पीडीएस भी तो पाखु जाई पारुची हेंस डिजिटल वेज पेमेंट्स digitally तो पाखु वेज केमति जाई परिबो so all these things has to be tracked smart migration tracking system more or less right next is gram panchayat migration resource centers सेठी कोन कराबो ना provide skill training registration support and grievance redressal for migrant families the things should be clear and easy for you now next is skill development initiative which you know very well ओडिशा रो छि कौशल ओडिशा तेना ना स्किल डेवलपमेंट करिवो तम कारण ना लेबर्स माना कर the more skilled you are more paid you will be under this AI powered artificial intelligence I hope you all know what is AI powered mobile skill training units to equip rural youth with industry relevant skills before migration. ଗୋଟେ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ତମକୁ କଣ ପାଇଁ ନବ, କିଏ ତମକୁ ଚାକିରି କଣ ପାଇଁ କି ଦବ, ତମେ ସିନା ତା ପାଇଁ କାମ କରିପାରିଲେ ହବ ନା। everyone just do not go to become a manual labor. So ତାଙ୍କୁ ଯଦି ସ୍କିଲିଂ କରି ଦିଆଯିବ, କିଛି ବେସିକ ନଲେଜ ଦେଇ ଦିଆଯିବ, so they will be more earning at least than that of the physical manual labor. So AI powered mobile skill training units to equip rural youths with industry relevant skills. इंडस्ट्री को जहाँ दरकार है हम ताको सही स्किलिंग देकी छाड़ियो, एटलीस्ट से चाकरीटा पाइयो, बुझियोची एटलीस्ट जाकी से काम करि परियो। कौशल ओडिशा and special women migrant support scheme, this is one of the best things. Sahara special women migrant support scheme. Women are always vulnerable to various kind of crises, various kind of crises. Hence, apart from that, women has got children, सब पिला को भी नहीं जानते, उनको चाइल्ड केयर भी दरकार पड़ियो, लीगल एड भी दरकार पड़ियो, and various safety measures. And this is one of the most visionary thought process of that of government of Odisha, that to going for that of the Sahara scheme, special women migrant support schemes, Sahara scheme, right? Why women are one, ଯେତେବେଳେ women ଉପରେ essay ଆସିବ, topic ଆସିବ, all these things can be imbibed over there. कौशल ओडिशा, सहारा स्कीम, मुख्यमंत्री श्रमिक सहायता योजना MSSY, again a famous one, hopefully you know because you have cleared the prelims. मुख्यमंत्री श्रमिक सहायक योजना, financial assistance to the migrant workers. Migrant workers ମାନଙ୍କୁ financial assistance दिया हुआ, including insurance coverage, which is one of the highest need. Insurance coverage, emergency support and travel assistance. Travel assistance ପାଇଁ ପଢିଛନ୍ତି, ଫେରି ପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି, travel assistance ହେଲେ ସେମାନେ ଆସିପାରିବେ at least, right? Rural livelihood clusters, rural livelihood clusters, cluster କରି livelihood ବନେଇବା ପାଇଁ special focus on KBK region. KBK region, you know why it is one of the backward places, we'll deal with that. pisciculture माने ମାଛ ଚାଷ, sericulture, silkworm, silk, right? Dairy farming, khira, millet cultivation and agro processing units. Remember this term, agro processing unit. These underdeveloped areas are still agricultural based. India is still, with 60% of its population or land mass, or 60% of India is still agricultural based, right? ओडिशार मोस्ट ऑफ द दुख पड़ेब जदि आम एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट आनिक बसई दे पारिबा, processing foods, processed foods without the use of chemicals. If that is will be a possibility in Odisha, Western Odisha will flourish like anything. Millet, the mission millet in Odisha has become a success, right? ତେଣୁକରି ମାଛ ଚାଷ କରିହବ, ପୋଲ୍ଟ୍ରି ଫାର୍ମ କରିହବ, ଗାଈ ରଖିହବ, ମିଲେଟ୍ କଲ୍ଟିଭେସନ କରିହବ, ଆଗ୍ରୋ ପ୍ରୋସେସିଂ ୟୁନିଟ୍ସ ଆଣିହବ ଟୁ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ସଷ୍ଟେନେବଲ୍ ଜବ୍ସ। ହେନ୍ସ ସେଟା କ୍ଲଷ୍ଟରରେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ନା ତାକୁ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ propagate କରୁଛି, rural livelihood clusters. Now this much is enough for you. So all these things, see this video time and again, you will understand what is the significance of that distressed migration, why it is happening, ତା ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ସବୁ ସ୍କିମ୍ ଆଣିଛି, ଆଉ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ଏରା ସବୁ କରୁଛି, ଇମିଡିଏଟଲି କ'ଣ କରିହେବ। ବଟ୍ the true solution to is that Odisha should become, rich and developed. ଆମ ଲୋକ ଆମରି ପାଖରେ କାମ କରିବେ, rest of India ବି ଆମର ହିଁ। Still then, Odisha ଲୋକ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଭିତରେ ରହିକି କାମ କଲେ ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା। Right? I go to Delhi and teach, I go to Hyderabad and teach, I go to Bangalore and teach. ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ସେଇ ଟାଇପ୍ର ବଡ଼ ସଂସ୍ଥା ଥାନ୍ତା, ମୁଁ ସେଇଠି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନେଇଯାଇଥାନ୍ତି ନା, ମୁଁ କାହିଁକି ଏତେ ବାଟ ଯିବି? ମୁଁ ଯାଉଛି ନା। So the distress or the stress migration is not only with that of the labor class, even that of the white collared labor, ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ବି ଅଛି, right? We do not have, most of our engineers are in Bangalore or in Pune. Very few are in Bhubaneswar. They're not even willing to come back. Why? Because we do not have opportunities in Odisha. We need to create that opportunities. Still then, so what are the challenges in addressing distress migration? What are the challenges? challenges कौन नहीं scheme तो हमें बहुत माने बने Odisha or India is known for this to have one of the finest scheme of this planet, and we are equally worst at implementing it. Though the things are changing because of that of the digitalization and other things, but limited implementation of the social security schemes. ମୁଁ କହିଲି ନା କଣ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଭାଇ କାର୍ଡ ତ ଅଛି ବିଜୁ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ କଲ୍ୟାଣ ଯୋଜନା ବିଏସକେୱାଇ କାର୍ଡ ତ ଥିଲା ଆମେ ମାନିଲୁ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ତ ଥିଲେ ହବ I'm saying from my own experience. There is a big hospital, private hospital, college भी तार अछि, hospital भी तार. ଏଠି ମୋର ଜଣେ ମାଉସୀ ପଡ଼ିଥିଲେ ରୋଗରେ BSKY card वाला just because she was having a BSKY card and from a village background, they were ill treated. Most of the whooping majority of the people were poor people having that BSKY card, if not all, most of them. So there is a scheme that has to be implemented. Just because we do not have money, our life do not have any value. We are even ill-treated at the point of death in these private hospitals. Isn't it that a fact? Hence, limited implementation of that of the social security schemes. Exploitation in informal sectors. It is absolutely everywhere. Middlemen and contractors exploit the rural laborers because they do not know innocent people. They come to cities or towns. They can be exploited. They do not have that social base. They cannot move to police. They cannot move to anywhere. They cannot move to judiciary. It's a very expensive affair. They do not have food to eat. So they have come here to work. They're helpless people. Hence, middlemen and contractors used to exploit them, and they feel helpless because of this. They cannot move anywhere, paying below minimum wages, despite of the fact we have minimum wage schemes or we have minimum pay rule with us. But they are being paid less than the minimum wage, trapping them in bonded labor. Inadequate alternative employment opportunities. भाई एक काम न कले तू करू कौन आ तो किसी ना जो तू पुश ହେଇକି ଆସୁଛୁ ସେଟା କିଛି ନଥିଲା ଯୋଉଠିକି ବି ତମେ ଯାଉଛ such a massively populated country the labor surplus supply is here if you are not doing this ଏତିକି ରେଟ୍ ରେ ପ୍ରଥମ କଥା କମ ରେ କରିବୁ ତା ବାଦରେ ଏ କାମ ନ କଲେ ମାନେ ଅନ୍ୟ କାମ ବି ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ତୋ ପାଇଁ ଓଡ଼ିଶା lacks high paying jobs opportunities in manufacturing and services. Rather, we do not have manufacturing sector. We might have services sector, but services sector is for the skilled people. What our massive population will do, they move from one places to other at the end consequences because of higher stress that leads to suicides. Now, suicide can be a separate question. Now we'll deal that separately. And another thing is, see, the migrants move from one state to other. So there is lack of coordination between the states. Lack of coordination between the states. Migrants often struggle with legal protection, housing and healthcare in destinations due to lack of coordination. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. We'll see way forward. Sustainable solution to address distress and migration. The best solution is ଗାଁ ମାନଙ୍କରେ ସେଇ type ର କାମ କିମ୍ବା industry, agro process industry, MSME clusters, rural industrial zones based on at least that kind of agriculture ଯେ ଆଖପାଖରେ ହଉଛି କିମ୍ବା ଆଖପାଖରେ ଯୋଉ resources ଅଛି ତାକୁ base କରିକି rural micro industries could be made. MSME should be a gift in this. Even that of the pickle makings, agarbatti making, chapati making. ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ରୁଟି 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 ପରଟା ଫ୍ରୋଜନ ହେଇକି ବିକ୍ରି ହଉଛି ସିଙ୍ଗଡ଼ା ଫ୍ରୋଜନ ହେଇକି ବିକ୍ରି ହଉଛି ଅରୁଣାଚଳ ପ୍ରଦେଶରେ ମୁଁ ଏବେ ଥିଲି ସେଠି ଆଚାର ମିଳୁଛି ଆଚାର ଆସୁଛି ଗୁଜୁରାଟରୁ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରୁ ନୁହଁ and pickles are been eaten everywhere in the world ଆମେ ସିଙ୍ଗଡ଼ା ଫ୍ରୋଜନ ହେଇକି ବିକ୍ରି ହଉଛି ସିଙ୍ଗଡ଼ା ସମୋସା at least we can do these things of course we cannot make mobile phones now agreed at least ଆମେ ମୋବାଇଲ ଫୋନ ର କଭର ତ ବନେଇ ପାରିବା MSMEs ନା କଭରଟା ବି ଆସିବ ଚାଇନାରୁ। So we can do all these things, right? MSMEs clusters should be made. Solar irrigations we can go for. Millet farming, smart agriculture for climate resilient livelihoods. ଯଦି climate resilient livelihood ରହିବ agriculture ନାଁରେ at least ଆମର distress migration ତ ହବନି ନା। I think strengthening migrants and social security, strengthening migrant rights and social security. You know something in your science and tech classes, something called as blockchain technology. Hence, you know about the security of those. I do not need to repeat this. Implement blockchain-based wage tracking to prevent wage fraud. I hope you know about the security that is been given by that block. I'm not talking about the bitcoins. I'm talking about the blockchain technology and its significance. Universal portability of PDS, public distribution system. Universal portability. माने ए स्टेट रे जाइथिले भी तुम जाइकी से स्टेट रे पीडीएस रो फायदा उठे परियो, पेंशन्स पाई परियो, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस फॉर दैट ऑफ द migrant families. So all these things you can go and write in your answers copy, right? All this is now the things will go a bit factual. Improving labor regulations and interstate agreements, which is highly needed. Labor regulations and interstate agreement to ensure safe migration, fair wages, and legal protections. ଆମକୁ ତାହେଲେ କୋଉ କୋଉ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କରିବା କଥା ଯୋଉଠିକି ଆମ ଲୋକ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ବେସିକାଲି ତାମିଲନାଡୁ, ଆନ୍ଧ୍ରପ୍ରଦେଶ, ଗୁଜରାଟ, ମହାରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର, right? Special focus on women and child migrants. ଏଠି କ'ଣ କରିହେବ ନା ହଷ୍ଟେଲ ଫ୍ୟାସିଲିଟିଜ୍ ଦେଇହେବ। 4ଟା ଜାଗାରେ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି, ଯୋଡ଼, ବଡ଼ବିଲ, ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର, ସମ୍ବଲପୁର। ଆଉ women ଆସିବ ମାନେ ଭାଇ child ଆସିବ, child care centers କରାହେବା କଥା and safety measures for the female migrant workers should be done. ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କରିବା କଥା। Smart data and AI based solutions, artificial intelligence driven skill mapping, माने इन शॉर्ट कौन चीज स्किल मैपिंग करो कार कौन स्किल तमे ताकू जानो टू मैच रूरल यूथ विथ हाई डिमांड अर्बन जॉब्स। अरे मुंबई रे गोटे स्पेसिफिक काम होउची, सूरत रे गोटे स्पेसिफिक काम होउची, मोरलेस बैंगलोर रे गोटे स्पेसिफिक काम होउची। आमे जदी ताकर स्किलिंग अप्रोप्रिएटली करके पठेइबा ताले समान सेट जे एटलीस्ट चाकरी पाई पारी। प्रथम आमे कहलु कि एठी ओडिशा भितर थाइकी सेमाने केमती भलरे काम करि परिबे, ए करिया से करिया एमएसएमई दुटा न, किंतु इमीडिएटली तो सॉल्व हबनी ना। हम लोक बाहर को जाउ चंती, तेणुक जितले बाहर को जीवे तांको हम एई टाइप रो स्किलिंग करे देले एटलीस्ट सेमाने पहुंची जी। सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स will lead to manage Mukoni solution, manage the distress migration in the longer term. Will come to the solution of it when Odisha as a state will become developed, when our people will become rich and skilled. Skilling of the people is the highest necessity over here. Kaushal Abhiyan and the schemes which have been given, and we have almost covered everything in that of the stressed migration aspect. Conclusion has been given. Hopefully you can see it from here. Second is Forest Rights Acts. Forest Rights Act implementation in Odisha and PVTG, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. We'll do that in the next video.